Hello everyone and welcome back, Dace here. At this point, it's never a surprise when Hamster drops an Arcade Archives or ACA Neo Geo shooter, but it's always such a thrill seeing what long and forgotten relic they've dug up for us. This time around, things have taken a very dangerous turn with their latest release, Dangerous Seed. This classic is an interesting but ruthless game, and I'm excited to share a little about it today in my review of the Nintendo Switch version. With all that out of the way, let's get into this. Dangerous Seed is an 8-stage vertical-scrolling arcade shooter published by Namco in 1989. This title came out in December and was their last arcade release of the 80s. In 1990, the Sega Mega Drive received its own version of the game, offering an arranged soundtrack, more features, and extra levels, bringing the total to 12 stages, which added a great deal more to the runtime. However, due to cutbacks during the game's transitional process, the Mega Drive version was less detailed than the original, with stage backgrounds looking simplified and bosses being less animated. That being said, the original arcade version is what you get with Hamster's Switch release of Dangerous Seed. One thing I find fascinating about this game's history is that it was initially going to be called Krystalkern. This prototype title can still be seen in the closing credits of the original arcade version since it was never changed. The story follows a pilot tasked with destroying an alien race codenamed Danger Seed. I sometimes see Danger Seed used to represent their mothership, but either way they aim to eradicate humankind, so we want to stop them no matter what. In Dangerous Seed, the stages are called tubes, and as you'd expect, you'll be combating countless enemies and numerous bosses that are brilliant in both their design and color combinations. At the start of the run, the main ship, or Moondiver as it's called, breaks into 3 smaller craft, which the player uses individually. These ships are the Alpha, Beta, and Gamma. I've sometimes seen Gamma called Delta, but there's no mention of a Delta ship in the game's manual. I even double-checked the lowercase Greek alphabet to confirm this. The player begins the game with Alpha, and if it's destroyed, they'll use Beta to continue the run. If Beta is destroyed, they take control of Gamma, and if that meets its end, the game is over. You can think of the ships as lives, and each one has a small health bar. However, if reaching stage 5 with Alpha, all 3 ships combine into the Moondiver, which has immense firepower and a large health bar. It's important to note that only Beta and Gamma will combine if Alpha is destroyed during the first 4 stages. This combination will of course be smaller than the trio, and the firepower will not be as strong. During your run, you'll see large enemies with green shells on their backs. These foes drop items when destroyed, and the item drop is based on your current ship. If controlling Alpha, you'll get the ring laser. If you're using Beta, you receive the melt missile, which dissolves enemies. And if you have Gamma or the Moondiver, you get the hyper bomb. Unlike many STGs, you can still get damaged when dropping a bomb. You'll also come across gold-colored energy capsules which restore HP or shield, and the light blue hyper booster. This blue capsule not only restores your shield but moves you through the stage faster, more or less placing you just before the boss. You are invincible during this rapid movement, and destroying enemies will net you 10 times the score. I've heard there's an alternate path somewhere in the game triggered by letting a particular boss timeout, but I've never seen this in gameplay videos or looked for it myself, so I'm unable to confirm which version of the game included this secret. Enemies come in various shapes and sizes, and many of them have animations, adding that much more to the overall experience. Some have long tails with sharp blades on their end, while others have moving limbs that fire at you. Bosses have destructible sections, and destroying these can significantly reduce the threat if there's too much flying around the screen. These stage-end foes are more and more demanding the further you go. They require both memorization and reflexes, otherwise you'll be torn into without mercy. If destroying the final form, you are praised for completing your mission, and a scene reveals your ship heading back to Earth. However, an alien appears on screen with a message hinting at a sequel. No sequel was ever created from what I've researched, but I think a second game would have been really cool. As for scoring, it appears to be fairly straightforward, and I haven't noticed anything out of the ordinary. However, quite a while ago I did read that if a boss times out, points are deducted from your score. I looked over my footage for examples of this but didn't see any reduction during such instances, so it may not be true, or it might only be included in the Mega Drive version. Another possibility is that it's something tallied at the end, but I haven't checked that closely. The game controls just as great as any other title released in the Arcade Archives series, and I really don't have any complaints. We have all sorts of game settings to adjust, and even a stage select is available, which can be used to start on stage 4 if you don't want to replay the first 3 levels. And as usual, we have high score and caravan modes for those who want to jump in. The music goes in a fantastic sci-fi direction with various moods spanning the run. Sometimes you'll hear a piece with building energy about it, while other times a tune may sound wonky, but all in all, I enjoy what the game offers. The sounds are great, with explosions having a nice pop to them, and one of my favorite sounds can be heard when firing on a long line of enemies. It creates this bursting bubble-like effect. In conclusion, Dangerous Seed offers both a crushing experience and a rewarding time with great music, unique enemies and bosses, and an overall enjoyable dip into late 80s STG goodness. I think it's a really neat idea to have 3 different ships essentially tied to your remaining lives. Combining those into an ultimate form as a reward for no missing is a nice touch. Anyway, that's where we'll leave things off for today. Let me know in the comments below if you've played this before and which version. If this is completely new to you, feel free to share whether you'll be picking it up. And if you enjoyed this video, fling a like our way and subscribe to keep your days STG infused. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.